Welcome to week 9 history. The focus for this week is first we're going to start off with what are human rights. The Australian Human Rights Commission describes human rights as the recognition of the value of each person, regardless of background, regardless of where we live, what we look like, what we think, or what we believe. They are based on the principles of dignity, equality, and respect, which are shared across cultures, religions, and philosophies. They are about being treated fairly and treating others fairly and having the ability to make genuine choices in our daily lives. Human rights originated in many different societies, but it was the Magna Carta, which we've just learnt about, that influenced the development of rights in the common law. The Magna Carta lies at the heart of democracy, and over time it has been incorporated into the common law of many nations and is included in the Australian Constitution and the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. And I've inserted a photo to the left and it says, "Human rights belong to everyone." And you can see that they have coloured in the word love in red. So the background of human rights, it may be surprising to learn that the term human rights is relatively new. It was only after the Second World War and the foundation of the United Nations in 1945 that the concept of a human right came into the global stage and replaced the previous concepts of natural rights and the rights of man. This doesn't mean that people before the Second World War didn't believe in universal or basic human rights. In fact, historians can trace back similar concepts to ancient Greece and Rome, where human conduct was judged by the law of nature. However, it wasn't until the Middle Ages that the law of nature became associated with the natural rights. These natural laws and the laws of man that followed still lacked the basic ideas on which our human rights are founded today. Over the next few slides, I've listed the full 30 human rights according to the Universal Declaration of Human Rights by the United Nations. This is taken straight from their website, and these human rights were signed in Paris on the 10th of December in 1948. You can read through the full 30 list by going to the PDF slides. I'm going to read out the first 10, and then it's your job to continue reading on in the PDFs. So the first human right is all human beings are free and equal. All human beings are born free and equal in dignity and rights. They are endowed with reason and conscience and should act towards one another in a spirit of brotherhood. Number 2, no discrimination. Everyone is entitled to all the rights and freedoms without distinction of any kind, such as race, color, sex, language, religion, political or other opinion, national or social origin, property, birth or other status. Furthermore, no distinction shall be made on the basis of the political, jurisdictional or international status of the country or territory to which a person belongs. The third one is a right to life. Everyone has the right to life, liberty and security of person. Number 4 is no slavery. No one should be held in slavery or servitude. Slavery and the slave trade shall be prohibited in all their forms. Number 5 is no torture and inhuman treatment. No one shall be subjected to torture or to cruel, inhumane or degrading treatment or punishment. Number 6, same right to use law. Everyone has the right to recognition everywhere as a person before the law. 7, equal before the law. All are equal before the law and are entitled without any discrimination to equal protection of the law. All are entitled to equal protection against any discrimination in violation and against any incitement to such discrimination. Number 8, right to be treated fair by court. Everyone has the right to an effective remedy by the competent national tribunals for acting violating the fundamental rights granted him by the Constitution or by law. So that just means everyone has the right to be treated fair, and this is decided through the courts. Number 9, no unfair detainment, which no one should be subjected to arbitrary arrest, detention, or exile. So that means that no one can be held or detained by police or by anyone against their will. Number 10, right to trial. Everyone is entitled to full equality to a fair and public hearing by an independent and impartial tribunal in the determination of his rights and obligations and of any criminal charge against him. So that means everybody has a right to a trial if you're being charged with a criminal charge. So, and I'll just read out 11 because it's on this slide too. So 11, innocent until proven guilty. Everyone charged with a penal offence has the right to be presumed innocent until proven guilty, according to law in a public trial, at which he has had all the guarantees necessary for his defence. No one shall be held guilty of any penal offence on account of any act or omission which did not constitute a penal offence, under national or international law at the time when it was committed. So it's your job to read through the rest of them, and these can be found by going back to the PDF slides found in your history folder. So now we're going to discuss the difference between civil rights and human rights. Governments grant civil rights in their constitutions and laws. Human rights are slightly different. Some people believe that God grants human rights. Other people believe that human rights are a part of nature. The right to get a driver's license is a civil right. The freedom to travel is a human right. So I've just collected these images, and they're all different posters with the same message of equality and human rights and treating everybody the same, making sure everyone gets a fair trial. So you can see all the different types of pictures, the posters, they've decorated differently. They all have the same underlying message, and that's human rights, but they all have slightly different wording, different pictures that all convey the same message. So that leads me to your job for this. So you need to design a human rights poster. Now this can just be completed with an A4 piece of paper. It does not need to be a poster. It could be done on lined paper, on the back of cardboard, whatever you have at home. And you can decorate these with colors, with textures, crayons, whatever you have at home. All I want is your message about human rights to be strong and emotive. So that means full of emotion. So you need to have a think about before you start your poster what you're going to put on it. Maybe you could draft an outline of the pictures you're going to put on it. Maybe make a list of the different words you'd like to put on it. And then when you go to assemble your poster, you'll be able to have a clear idea. You know what your message is. You know what people are looking at your poster, what the first thing they're going to pick up on is, what the message is. It needs to be easy for the reader to see your message and what you're trying to display. So keep these at home, and we will put them up in the classroom when we return to school. But after you finish your poster, you can take a photo of it and upload it to your Google document so I can have a look at them. And I can't wait to see all the creative designs that you come up with.